Mic check, mic check, mic check. Wait. Give me 1 second. I gotta make sure everything running nice and smooth, and then we'll get right into the main. Alright, bet. So you guys, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. If you're new here, we're doing KB talks. The way this works is broken into 3 different sections. We start off with video games and video game news. Then we move into movies and streaming. Then after that, anime and manga. I was a bit preoccupied last week, so I don't have that many topics for today. But the main topic is the Antman review, because I seen it Saturday. So we're going to get into that. But before we start, I'd appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe, all that extra jazz. But if you want to keep up to date, make sure to go follow me over on Twitter. So the first thing we start out with is the PlayStation Plus games of the month. Let me pull it up. Let me set it up so you guys can see it as well. That one. Oh, shit. Yeah. This one, fit the screen. Give me 1 second, and we should be good. So the first game of the month is Evil Dead the game. Then it's Ollie World, Destiny 2, Beyond Dead Light, and Mafia Definitive Edition. Those are 3 games of the month if you have PlayStation Plus. But they have PlayStation Essential and Premium. They added a bunch of games this month. I'm gonna read them off to you guys. So, PlayStation Plus Premium and extra games for February. All these games will be added tomorrow, so you can check it out. So, if you have PlayStation Plus Premium and extra, they're adding Ace Combat 7, Borderlands 3, Earth Defense Force 5, Horizon Forbidden West. I'm gonna check that out. I Am Setsuna, Lost Fear, Oninaki, Outriders, Resident Evil 7, Scarlet Nexus, checking that one out too. Tekken 7, The Forbidden City, and The Horde. I already said the games that's coming for every tier. The classic games coming for February is Destroy All Humans, Harvest Moon, Legend of Dragoon, and then Wild Arms 2. These are the games if you got PlayStation Plus. And these games right here are the games if you got PlayStation Premium or PlayStation Extra. Now let's get back to those games of the month. two other gaming updates before we move on. The PSVR 2 is now out. You can get your hands on that. And then Xbox was trying to buy Activision, but it got blocked. They was like, if you want to buy it, you gotta sell Call of Duty first. We'll see what happens with that, but those are all the gaming topics I had. Because once again, I was kind of busy. Let me know which game you're gonna be playing for out of the free games and out of the other tiers. Now, let me just break it back here. Right now, we're about to talk about Antman and the Wasp Quantumania. Fuck it. This is gonna be a spoiler talk, so I seen it Saturday. It's been a couple days, so we just gonna jump right into it. Antman and the Wasp Quantumania is, I believe it's the first movie of Phase 5 for the MCU, and it introduced Kang the Conqueror. There was already another King introduced in Loki, but we gonna talk about this movie, and then I'll talk about the after credits a little later. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I thought it was an okay movie. It wasn't worse than Thor: Love and Thunder, but it's not like top tier Marvel movie. Like, I'm gonna just start out with stuff I liked. That way, it doesn't seem like I'm just piling on the movie. So, the first thing I like was Kang. He was like in this, they had him like a menacing villain. Like, he got shit done. Oh, what bad? Oh, what the hell? I liked Ant-Man himself. I seen a couple people have complaints about him because he wanted the he basically just wanted to protect his daughter, and I'm like, I understand, because in the MCU he was gone for most of her life. Like, he was locked up early, then as soon as he gets her back in his life, he gets blipped, gone for 5 years. Now she's a whole adult. Now in this, she's yeah, it's spoilers, so you probably some people probably seen it in the trailer, but she goes to jail like 2 or 3 times, and apparently, but then she got, what the hell? She went to jail 2 3 times apparently. He just wanna keep her safe. But the main focus of this movie is it takes place in the quantum realm. what else? Trying to trying to remember all the things I liked. Uh, some of the things I liked about this movie is also some of the things I disliked about the movie. Just a heads up. The the visual effects in this movie, only when it's like, how do I explain it? Only when it's like scenery shots. It it reminded me of Star Wars. So like you'll see a whole robust city, and then it just looks nice. Like there's this one scene. uh I don't remember all the characters' names, so I would just Wasp, Hank, and I think Janet, that's the grandma, or Wasp's mom. They're flying on a they're flying on some creature, and I guess they're going over water, and then the creature puts it does the thing every time somebody goes over water. They put their hand in the water. But some of the visual effects in this movie was nice. And then that's about all the good things I like about this movie. It's not, yeah, it's not the best. But what's his name? Jonathan Majors. He did his thing as Kang. Everybody else, everybody else played their part. Oh, nah. I'm talking about good. So let me not include him. I bring him up later. So now we're talking about all the things I disliked about the movie. So first thing first, this is called Antman and the Wasp Quantumania. When I got out the end of the movie, I felt like you could take Ant-Man out this movie and it's the same movie. Like he's supposed to be the main character, but I feel like if you take him out, nothing changes at all. Then that was hard. I enjoyed it. Let me like again. All right, let me rank the last couple movies. I got, it's probably in order of how they came out. Like I think the best Phase 4 movie was Spider-Man. I didn't really care for Eternals, or Shang-Chi was hard. Doctor Strange was hard. Thor was trash. Like the the last couple movies ain't been it. So then my my main problem, one of my issues with this movie is a problem I've been having the last couple Marvel movies. The best way I can explain this is, you ever play a game and you see the border of you can't go over there. Because I don't want to block the jump. The, the best way to explain it was, if you're playing a game and you see the border, like you could see over there, but you know you can't walk towards that way. Like this has been my main issue for of the past couple Marvel movies. Like it just looks like you see me right here, everything behind me would be blurry if I was in the MCU. I couldn't touch nothing behind me. It'll just be mad blurry. And like at at first when I was watching it, I was like, maybe it's because I'm watching it in 3D. But then I had the same issue with Thor and some of Doctor Strange. But like once once I seen it, I couldn't unsee it. Like my eyes just couldn't adjust. And I'm like, how are the visual effects this trash when we could go back watch early Star Wars and it holds up? We could go back and watch Planet of the Apes and that holds up. You could go back and watch, well, what was it? The Pirates of the Caribbean, the one with damn, what's his name? Somebody remind me. He got the tentacles for face. I know it's not Davy Jones, but you go back and watch that movie, like those visual effects. Even Lord of the Rings, like Gollum. I forgot how to pronounce his name, but you could go back and watch all those movies and they hold up today. Like, but with the new crop of Marvel movies, like don't get me wrong, like some of the effects were cool, like when they get sucked into the quantum realm, visually it looked nice. And then some of it reminded me of like when Doctor Strange cast his magic. It looked it like that. But yeah, it's like every time I go watch one of these movies, it'll be cool, and then bam, soon as something is happening, like it just messes with my eyes, and it's hard to like get through the rest of the movie. And it'll happen like early in, like, and then with this movie, another I was enjoying the movie all the way till they got to, it's probably early in. I was enjoying the movie when it was focused on Scott. Then soon as they go into the quantum realm, I'm like, and it's pretty early in the movie, but soon as they go in the quantum realm, my interest like drops up and down. Like I cared about the Kang stuff, then I cared about Scott, and then like this the other part of the movie is basically like the Wasp, her mom was in a quantum realm before, and then she got out, but she never told anybody what was in the quantum realm, what she did in the quantum realm. But then you find out in the movie, it's basically she was trapped there. Kane got exiled, and then they helped each other to get out. So when his ship was connected to his mind. So once they once they fix the ship and it start powering up, he gets in the ship. She's about to get in the ship. She, as soon as he touch it, she just sees his mind and what all the stuff he did, all the timelines. She basically found out he was King the Conqueror. He already he already killed multiple timelines and things like that. And then from there, she was like, "I can't let you do this because you're evil." So she took the John and blew it up. Like what's this shit called? Not like explosion blew it up, but she used the whatever Antman used to get bigger. That's what she used to. She used like four of them to make it big as hell. And that's and he built his empire in the quantum realm right inside that. So let me out of bounds zone. Take Ant-Man out. Movie, nothing happens. Oh, is it was one thing in this movie when it happened. I just rolled my eyes. Uh, so basically, Kane, Kane comes out. He's a menace. He's out here, blah blah blah, killing everybody left and right. Everybody left and right. Then he gets bodied by some ants. Let me say this again. Kang the Conqueror gets bodied by some ants, which is crazy to me. Because when I watched it, I was like, so the only reason y'all mentioned those ants in the beginning of the movie was because y'all gonna have them come back later and body Kang. Then the explanation they gave, they said when they was falling into the quantum realm, the ants, I don't know if they branched off or something, but he said something about they lived 1,000 years in a single day. So I don't know. And then I was like, I don't know how that's possible. Like, y'all all fell in there at the same time. Y'all only been there for like, I can't even say a day because y'all was probably only in there for a couple hours. So how did they advance 1,000 years in a single day? And then with the grandpa Hank Pym, I guess I don't know if it was a hearing aid or something, but they when they got into the quantum realm, his it looks like a hearing aid, so I'm gonna just call it a hearing aid. His hearing aid went off a few times, and I just thought, oh, because it shrunk down, maybe it's not working right, blah blah blah. But apparently, it was the ants trying to get in contact with him, because because the ants came and saved him, and he was like, "I didn't find the ants; they came and found me." But ba- basically, anything that had to do with the ants, I thought it was y'all could have found another reason to take out. They could have easily found another way to take out Kang. Like you got three scientists over there. They could have did something like then. What else? I got two more. So then they had MODOK in this movie. Fucking, they had MODOK in this movie, which is Darren from, I guess, Antman 2, I think, or 1. He played Yellow Jacket. He had a couple funny lines, but oh yeah, and then I seen somebody mention this before. I forgot who it was. They said the reason they didn't have like Scott's old crew in there because what's his name? Michael Pena, the guy that is the name Louis. Well, the one that does all the recaps in the Ant-Man movies. Somebody was like, the reason they didn't have him because he was the comic relief character, but they turned everybody into the comic relief character. Cause everybody was cracking jokes left and right. I was cool when Ant-Man did it. Then it was like a bunch of the not aliens, cause a bunch of the people that live in the quantum realm, they crack jokes. Like I ain't gonna lie, some of the jokes land like uh Cassie and Ant-Man's daughter, she fought MODOK, but she beats him by growing bigger, and then I forgot the joke. It was something about being a dick, but she said something like "Don't be a dick." He was like, "It's too late. Look at me. I'm already a dick," and I just thought that was funny. But a couple of the other jokes, I didn't really care for. And then I don't know if this is anybody else, but for me, I'm already tired of the multiverse. Like they burnt that out. Like I know it was in Spider-Man, uh, Doctor Strange. This was, I think it was Loki as well. I'm trying to remember, but it feels like it feels like a bunch of shit just been multiverse stuff. And then my my last and final issue with this movie is another issue I have with I guess the MCU, it's they went from character stories to now it's just the greater. We're we're worried about building up the greater universe. Like, perfect example. Doctor Strange 1 was, you had that movie. The main villain was Dormammu. Then they set up next movie is they set up so Doctor Strange 2 would be Mortal. Mortal went around in the end credit scene. Mortal is going around killing wizards. So logically, put two and two together. Oh, next movie we're gonna get Strange versus Mortal, but then they just stop doing stuff like that. Like, if you're gonna use the end credit to set up the next movie and then just toss it away, like, it's a bunch of, they did it a bunch of times. Like, they'll set something up and then just toss it away, and it'll never be heard about again. Like, I feel like the Spider-Man movies does it the best, but like Homecoming and then Far From Home, because Far From Home he came back and then it said, oh, oh, I can't remember the names. Yeah, it's Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. But the second movie goes right into the third movie. You don't see that a lot with these Marvel movies. Like, this this movie just sets up Kang Kang as the big bad for this phase. So I'm guessing I know the next movie is Guardians of the Galaxy. It'll probably have nothing to do with Kang, but we'll see end credit scenes and all that. And then, oh yeah, so the end credit scenes for this movie. If you don't want to get spoiled, I gave out a spoiler warning earlier, but this is spoiler for the end credit scenes of Antman and the Wasp Quantumania. So at the end of the movie, they managed to kill Kang. And oh yeah, that's another. It's all coming back to me, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. Can you do a cool American dubstep? I don't know what that is, but I can do parkour a little bit. But the end credits, the first, was it the first or second? Well, one of the end credit scenes is at the end of the movie they kill Kang, and so while Kang was fighting Ant-Man, he told him there's a bunch of me coming, and I'm the only one who can stop him. but they was like, I can't set you free on the world, blah blah blah. They get to fighting. Long story short, Kang dies. Then it's the end of the movie. In the credit scene, you see a Pharaoh King talking to a robot King. Well, not robot, but like a cyborg King. And the cyborg is like, Kang the Conqueror is dead. And then he was like, "Are you?" The other King was like, "Are you sure?" And then he goes, "I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be telling you if I wasn't sure." And then he said something like, "You're just mad you wasn't the one who killed him." Blah blah blah. Then they was like, "I called the other Kings." Blah blah blah. How many? All of them. And then it looked like they're in an arena. It looks like they're in an arena, and you see thousands and thousands of kings. And then I forgot what they said right before it ended, but you got the pharaoh, the cyborg, and one other king right in the middle. Then boom, it says King will return. Then the second end credit scene is Loki. You got Loki and Owen Wilson. They're, I believe they're on Earth, but it looks like they're far in the past. And Owen Wilson was like, "Is this the guy? You made him seem like such a big badass." Blah blah blah. And then you could see the fear on Loki's face. And then it was it was I guess another King variant. He was up on stage presenting, I guess, something about time travel. But those were the two end credit scenes. And then because I went over the end credit scenes, it reminded me of another problem with the movie. Not a problem, but I felt like it ended mad safe. Like the the way it ends, it's Ant-Man. So like my one of my earliest problems was Kane get bodied by some ants. So the ants drag him off somewhere, and then Ant-Man and his family, they go use the little orb to help send them back home. So everybody goes through. Then Scott's daughter about to go through, and he see Kang, so he push her. Then Kang and Ant-Man start fighting. Kang wasn't trying to win this fight. His goal was to try to jump through that portal. So they fighting, getting it in. He starts beating Ant-Man ass. He starts stomping him out. But then Ant-Man starts he starts getting hits in, and I'm like, he was just stomping you out. How are you just getting up? Oh. But whatever, the hero has to win. Then it was the scene from the trailer. He was like, "I don't have to win. I just have to make sure we both lose." So at that point, I'm thinking, all right, they both, he, his family already in there. He's about to close the portal, so they're stuck in there. But that's not what happened. uh, what's her name? Wasp comes out the portal. Uh, Kang was about to kill Antman. Wasp comes out the portal. Then they just jump him, and then they end up, what's the shit? They had the PEM particles on the little disc John. They pushed him into the John and it fucked it up. Then the portal closes. I'm like, all right, so this is how they end in the movie. They're stuck in a quantum realm. Blah blah blah. But no, that's not how it ends. His the same machine that they used to bring him there. His daughter uses it to open another portal. And I was like, I don't know how that's possible, but they did what they did. And I think that's all my critiques for the movie. Like, once again, it wasn't Thor Love and Thunder bad, but it wasn't like top tier Marvel movie. It's definitely in the bottom of the crop. I don't do number ratings, so this so the next couple movies I know is, why am I drawing a blank? The next couple movies is Guardians, The Marvels, and I think Secret Invasion. That's they made that a show. Like, once again, I don't know how all these things are pointing towards Kang, but I know one of the Avengers movie is called Kang Dynasty. So and then I wonder what's gonna be the Avenger team for that movie, because you don't got the main Avengers, like, they all gone. You you got Sam as Captain America, but is he gonna lead the team? Who's gonna be on the team? I'm thinking they probably gonna have Spider-Man for that one. Maybe maybe one of the Marvels, like Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. Is it gonna? Because as many Kangs as they had, they said they're all going. So I'm like, is it enough? Is it enough Avengers to fight off the invasion? But we'll just have to wait and see. But that was my Antman and the Wasp Quantumania review. And then my last section is talking about anime and manga, but I don't have that much. But Dragon Ball Super manga, chapter 90 is out today. Go check that out. They had like a 3-chapter arc for for the prequel of Dragon Ball Superhero, the movie. So it was focusing on Goten and Trunks, and it was the last three chapters, and it finished with this. So next chapter they're moving into the Dragon Ball Superhero movie. And then I usually end it with a manga recommendation, but I don't have one today. So I'm gonna give you guys a comic book recommendation, and it's called Batman Superman World's Finest. What I do is I'll read the first chapter. Well, usually for mangas, I'll go through and we'll read the first chapter. If you guys like it, you can keep reading after that. But it gives you more than just, hey, here's a book, go read it, go check it out. We actually read the first chapter. Since today's a comic book, we'll read the first issue. If you see ads, it's okay. Hopefully it's not nothing too crazy. But Batman, Superman, World's Finest. The art for this is done by Dan Mora, one of my favorite. He became one of my favorite artists for comics because it never looks bad. So, the Dark Knight, the Man of Steel, they are the two finest heroes the world has ever known. Together, their combined might stands in the face of the galaxy's greatest threat. Oh, I believe there's 11 there's 11 issues for this so far, but we're just gonna look through it. Metropolis, the not too distant past. Hell run. See, look how beautiful this art is. Then you got Poison Ivy, Greenwood Bell, Injection, Urban, some of your hair. Well, but then you got Batman, Robin. This minus this right here, this little this is almost exactly what Ben Affleck costume looked like in in the Flash movie. Then you got Superman. Then you got Metallo. Look at that. It just looks so amazing. They call me the man with the kryptonite heart. And then they look at this. Welcome to the club. Get away from my friend. Stabbed him. Metallo stabbed whatever this is into it. Now the fun begins. They have no idea what's in store. Gotham City, years before the attack. I can see them inside. It's a track part. Oh, hey, it's Robin. What? This guy, whatever comic book he's on, I'll read it because the art is always fire. Damn, we still got a lot to go. What the? Hey, Doom Patrol. I don't know if any of you guys seen the show, but this is the squad. He's hallucinating. Oh, that man going through it. I like. I don't know how he didn't piece it together. You're just fighting Zod and them. Now that they disappeared and it's Lex. It's crazy. He's Niles. What? Bada bing. That's that's the first issue for Superman. I mean Batman, Superman, World's Finest. Thank you. Thank you, Hopium Dose, for subscribing. Greatly appreciated. So I'm gonna let you guys know my schedule is usually Monday through Friday. We're streaming games, so games like Apex, uh, Fortnite, most sometimes story mode games. Once I figure out a game to once I figure out a game to stream, I'll let you guys know. Uh, Saturday is usually when I do the KB talks, because we could talk about everything that happened through the week. And Sundays, I I'm playing Apex or Fortnite. Sundays are designated multiplayer games. So if you guys would like to join, all you gotta do is be in the chat and say that, hey, I like to, or basically just ask, am I looking for teammates? Then, so just be sure. Let me pull this up. Just make sure go over to Twitter so you can always, because right after this, I'm gonna put out, hey, next stream is tomorrow. We're gonna be doing this, just to be caught up. But I'm more active over on Twitter. You get to be informed on streams. I put out a couple cosplay on there. Uh, yeah. So thanks for coming through. Thanks for the new subscribers. Thanks for everybody who liked, shared, dropped a comment. It's greatly appreciated. I'm only I'm only 7 episodes into this, so hopefully I get better with time. I All criticism is appreciated. It'll help me grow and all that. Thank you guys for coming through. The next stream will be tomorrow, hopefully 12 o'clock. But the next stream is tomorrow. We playing Apex. Come hang out. I'm looking for teammates. So tomorrow, if anybody come through, just write teammates in the chat. But once again, let me know what you guys thought of. What games are you playing if you're a PlayStation person? What PlayStation Plus games are you playing? Then let me know what you guys thought about Antman and the Wasp. And last but not least, let me know if you guys are gonna check out Batman, Superman, World's Finest. That was my comic book recommendation.